Yeah, good afternoon. Good to see you guys. Happy to be here for the final stretch of the season. Realized that we've been on the road 10 times, in the Big Ten. Someone gave me that stat today and it opened my eyes. So excited to be in the PAV with our fans and a bunch of back-to-back matches, new challenge that we haven't seen really since preseason. So Friday, Saturday matches, each one as important as the one before it. And so, yeah, proud of the response in Indiana. Obviously a big moment on the road against a really good team. And we showed up and did enough to keep things important. So, yeah, here we are.
Where does Sunday's match rank in terms of gritty, mentally tough wins that you've had this season?
Yeah, it was right in line with the road trip before. At Ohio State and at Northwestern had a similar type feeling, and so I knew we could do it because we had proven it. And so those three matches, all being pretty recent, meant a lot. Indiana's a good team, served the ball extremely well. We're playing at a really high level, and so to grit out a win there, yeah, as good as any road win that we've had for sure.
What adjustments did you make after the opening set?
I think maybe one of the benefits to having lost some sets big is just that we have a ability to move on quickly, right? Both as a staff and as players, we can let bad sets go. It's a silver lining of some unfortunate sets that we've played. And we've done it before. Kylie and I talked about, that Indiana had a match with Illinois that was very similar, and that Illinois was able to persevere despite a bad set like that. And her and I talked about it actually, and you look at the two matches, they're pretty identical almost in terms of how it went. So there was at least a framework there for how to win that match. But yeah, nice performance by Julia Hanson, in a role that she's been prepared for all season. So not surprising to me to see her in that moment.
Seems like Taylor's kill numbers are really going up here over the last couple of weeks or so. Is that a result of the system, or is it something she's just feeling more comfortable with? What do you think goes into that?
Yeah, a combination of things. We knew after preseason she wasn't content. We weren't content. We had to take a look at what we were doing and have a lot of conversations. And so collectively between the coaching staff and her and Melanie setting, we've put her in a position to get set more, and she's responded. Obviously the Northwestern match is one that'll stand out as an important one, but just her overall volume and efficiency has been pretty spectacular. I think she was hitting 285 in conference, which is as high as she's hit in her career, I think, in conference. So that was impressive to see. She's doing a lot for us.
Two teams this weekend that you had gritty, tough wins against the first time around. What do you take away going into this weekend?
Yeah. I think, again, you're in that phase of the season where you're not capable of looking past Tuesday, and but just, yeah, the back-to-back aspect of it is the part that probably, has my attention the most. How do we changes the way you scout, changes the way you do film, changes the way you play the match on Friday. Ohio State, obviously, really dangerous. Iowa struggled but took us to 5. So, again, we're treating every opponent with respect, and yeah, just unique to be back-to-back. But it's what you see in the opening round of the tournament. And I think that's kind of the mentality you want to have, is this is what first weekend looks like in the tournament. We get to practice it 2 times here.
How big is it to be at home these last 2?
Just cannot understate the unconditional support of the Gopher volleyball community. I mean, time of day, opponent, we're on a winning streak, we're on a losing streak. Pick up the stat sheet every time. There's 5,000 fans in the gym, and it's just an unbelievable expression of support. And yeah, can't understate what it's like to know that that's waiting for us.
So with the amount of travel you guys have had, and then just kind of schools picking up for a lot of these athletes, what kind of mental wear and tear does that take on the athletes, and how do you address that?
Yeah, significant, right? It's all cumulative. You see it in November with these teams playing each other, in their faces, sometimes in the hitting efficiencies, right? Everyone's got all the scouting reports dialed in, and each match feels grittier and harder and longer. So, we've taken 2 days off some weeks. We are limiting practice time, probably to 60% of what we normally would do. So trying to taper things off and be really efficient to make sure that we've got what we need on game day.
Go ahead. At this point in the season, especially with these back-to-back matches coming up, how much as a staff are you able to still take time to really self-scout and focus on that, as opposed to giving all the attention to the upcoming opponents?
Yeah, you get if you're lucky, you get 2 days, right? Tuesday and Wednesday, and you have to do your best to not look ahead at what's waiting for you. You've already done the film work, so you know what's waiting for you on Friday, but you do need to stay focused on your own team it's hard to install things late, right? Things that if you try and install a gimmick late, it probably won't be there for you in a big moment. But there's battles we've been fighting, particularly offensively all year, that we step in today and we fight them again today in practice. We've got to be better in some spaces offensively. So I think that's what we spend most of our time on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Yeah.
I'm sure it's sort of an interesting space where you have your team leader in kills and points per set, needing to take a break, needing to take out McKenna in a match. What is that thought process like for you as a coach? How do you handle that discussion either before or after the fact?
Yeah, I think you go by there's lots of different scenarios that happen, right? Lots of different ups and downs and triumphs and failures, and you got to meet all of them the same, which is you go to your values, which is, one of ours is conflict agility. So anything that happens in a match, we're pretty agile about addressing it. We're meeting that night on FaceTime, we're having conversations, talking about the next day, making a plan for practice this week, and then moving forward. So again, I was impressed. You don't have to. No one's satisfied after that. You're happy with the team win, but individually, it was nice to see her response in the conversations we've had since that match, and yeah, I'm excited to see her today at practice. That's for sure.
It's kind of it's an interesting space, right? Because it's a good thing to have depth.
Yeah.
And yet you have to learn, I'm sure, at some point how to balance sort of that interpersonal dynamic with players and how to say, playing time can shift and move. I mean, how do you be comfortable in that space? Are you comfortable in that space?
Yeah, role clarity I think is something that has been figured out a while ago in terms of conversations, and athletes are fine when they know how their role can grow and how it can shrink and what's within their control and what's they're not. Things happen fast in matches. You got to make moves quickly, and so there isn't time in the match to really sit down and explain, but you do got to make sure you go back and revisit it and make a plan so they know where to dedicate their time and energy. So yeah, role clarity is something that it's a constant conversation with athletes for sure.
When we last spoke back in the preseason, you said the three big focuses were serve, receive, first ball, side out of system work, and then moving on to transition. Where has that been now? What's been your focus in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, we create and convert is something we've talked a lot about. Just, we can create defensively with our block and our defense, but can we get a good swing in transition? That's the kind of phase of year that you're in, whether you're in system or out of system. Middle offense continues to be something that we are searching for, and balance in our offense. So those two areas stand out to me. Blocking, I think we had, 5 blocks in that fifth set, which was a big deal for us. So yeah, those areas stand out to me late, trying to get those things organized right before December rolls around.
And then a little bit about set selection. I mean, still not quite using the slide and back row attack as much as the team did last year. Are you happy with that distribution, or are you looking to diversify it a little bit?
Yeah, coaches are never happy. No, I think, again, you have to balance when it comes to a back row attack. We've got some great defensive specialists, right? Elise McGee, Zenep have been helping us out big in that space, but they're not going to be scoring out of the back row. So you're constantly making that offense versus defensive trade, mostly based on who you're playing. And we've been a little more defensive focused, right? And serve receive focused with Zenep and Elise playing more. And yeah, we've got to find ways to shift some of the offensive load onto Taylor and McKenna out of the back row and continue to find our middles.
Anything else for Coach? All set?
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
How big was the net front defense, especially in that last set on Sunday?
The net front defense, like blocking and stuff? It was really big. We work hard on blocking every single day. And because of that, we also work really hard on covering the ball when other teams block us. And so going into that fifth set, we were just really determined to keep fighting and doing everything we can. Like, our middles did such an awesome job in that fifth set. They were blocking everything. It was really cool.
Winning that second set the way you did, 32-30, mentally, was that something you feel like you guys have come a long way in?
I do. We were talking about how hard we fought throughout that whole set to ultimately win it 32-30. So that was really good for us. It really shows all the progress we've been making and just shows how determined we are to really be working through the end of this season.
How about the way that you fit into Coach's system here? How do you feel like you've progressed since the start of the season?
I definitely feel like I fit in a little better. I know everyone better, and when I first started, I didn't quite feel like I knew what my teammates were thinking at times, so it was a little hard to maybe talk to each other through the hard stuff. But I feel like now we know each other really, really well, and so it's really cool. We can help each other through a lot.
4 matches left, and you get to have all of them here at home. How good does that feel?
It feels great. I love our home games. I love our environment. I love our gym and everything. So.
What's your favorite part about the game day atmosphere here?
Honestly, I like just playing on our court. I think you go to other schools and you don't know like your markings for blocking and everything. So just being here in a place that we're all really comfortable and really excited, and know we have fans behind us, I just think that's really cool and really exciting.
Iowa gave you a good test the first time around. What do you take away from the first time meeting them?
I think the first time we beat them, but they played a really good game. They played really hard, and so we know that they're going to come in with every expectation. They were in the fifth set just as much as we were, so they had every opportunity to win that, just like we did. So they're going to come in playing really hard. I know they want to get this win.
Fundamentally, what's the biggest thing you want to see out of your team these last 4 matches?
I just want to see us working hard and working together. We talk every day about believing in ourselves and competing for and with each other. And so I think that's something that we're just going to continue into this weekend, and I'm really excited to see it.
You mentioned earlier in one of your answers about, getting game-winning plays late in sets, and maybe you had let a few get away from you earlier. Is that physical, mental, or a combination to get over that hump to now be able to capture those sets?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. You get late into sets and obviously you're really tired, but so is the other team. So that's kind of when the mental aspect comes into play. You're kind of thinking like, I've been working so hard, but I didn't work hard to get to this point just to not win it. So I'm going to keep doing everything that I can. I know all my teammates are thinking the same thing. So, yeah.
At this stage in the season, is there any kind of like mental wear and tear that kind of comes about, and how do you kind of manage that?
I think at this stage it all becomes a little bit more real. We have ultimately 2 weeks of Big Ten season left. So it's a little bit more real, like, wow, this is coming, like, we've been saying the time is now all of season, but it's a little bit more like you can see the end is near, so it's like it's a little bit more real or hard on you. So, yeah.
When you have a number of times this season where the team has lost a crucial match and then found themselves in adversity the next night or 2 nights later, seemingly every time you have found a way to respond and overcome that. So it's like, while the season might have a little bit of a wavering, I just wonder, what does that feel like when you have a team that isn't folding, that isn't giving into those moments of tension, or where you could just sort of say, forget it?
It's really, really cool. It's just being a part of a team that, like you said, you might lose some matches that you could be so close on. You come back the next game and you win them. It just shows how resilient, how strong everyone on this team is, and even though things might have been tough, I don't think any of us would trade it for anything else, because it's helped us to grow so much as people and players, and that's really great for us. So, yeah.
That first set on Sunday was tied for the biggest set loss this year. What was your specific role in sort of keeping the energy, the morale up to fight back in the way that you did?
Something that I always tell myself since I was like 14 years old is just saying, like, I can do this. I think the way you talk to yourself is really important, and so something that I try to say to our team is like, we can do this. Like, I believe in us. Every single person should believe in each other. And so I think just after that set loss, it's like, okay, they came out, Indiana was playing really hard. They earned that set win. Now it's time for us to earn one. So, yeah.
Is Coach Cook's philosophy of not being conditionally committed, is that still kind of apparent in the gym?
Yes, it definitely is. We talk about that every single day, at least once. Just because there are times when you could say, this is hard, I don't want to give it my all right now. But we talk about every day, give everything you have, and that might change. Your 100% might look different day to day, but as long as you're here and you're fully committed, you're doing everything you can. So, yeah.
Anything else for Lydia?
Just one last question. On a day like Sunday, or like your game against Creighton, when just everything, or when a lot is working for you, is there anything specifically that really feels different about those days, or is it just the swings are falling in?
I don't know, I think there's a little bit of like when you're having a good match, it feels good and it kind of feeds into like continued confidence. But Creighton was a while ago, and so just thinking about on Sunday, like just Julia had an awesome match. Our setters, Melanie, and then our out of system setters, they were doing so well as well, and so just it kind of like everything is flowing really well. And so like, yeah, maybe I have more swings landing, but it's kind of like everyone's team chemistry and flow is going well. So, yeah.
All right, all set.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
A great match Sunday. What was working for you?
Well, first of all, thank you. Every single day in practice, I am challenging the blockers' high hands, and so I think I just went into that match and did what I do every single day in practice and just hit high hands and just went for it. And there's nothing I can do besides just go for every ball and swing.
You've seen your role increase from year 1 to year 2. In what ways are you feeling more comfortable, just getting reps? Kind of what goes into that?
Yeah, from last year to this year, I'm definitely way more comfortable on the court. Just with time. It just takes time to get comfortable out there, and then more and more playing time, and just every single game it becomes easier. And then just with my teammates, they have my back every single game.
What can you say about the team's mental toughness, gritting out that second set win, and then, Indiana's a good team, tough place to play, and then pulling that one out like you did?
Yeah, I guess we talked about after that set, like, we just fought. Like, we never gave up in that set, and that just kind of shows us as a team and, like, our mental toughness, like you said, that, like, it's not over. The set isn't over until the ref tells us it's over, so we have to keep playing and keep pursuing everything until it's over.
How about the way you guys have served the ball this year? You in particular, I know your numbers have been really good, and then the team as a whole looks like the numbers have just been really solid and continue to get better.
Yeah, every day in practice, we're told hit your serve, float, location, all that. Like, we practice it every single day, and when we get into matches, we don't go easier on our serve. We hit our serve, and so I think that's just really shown in our matches this season.
Iowa gave you a good test last time. What do you take away from the first time going into Friday?
Yeah, I think we're a completely different team from when we played them the first time, and so I think this time we know what we have to do. We have to just grind it out every single day at practice. It starts with today, and our first test is like Iowa, and then we have other games going on. But we know what we need to do, and we know who we are.
How big is it hosting the Final Four matches before the tournament?
Oh, it's great. This is just what we wanted. We know how to play at home in front of this amazing crowd, and these are games that we need to win going on for our season in December, and so it's just great that we get to be at home.
Anything you guys want to do or tune up fundamentally, anything you want to see out of your team before the tournament?
I think we just need to keep fighting and keep grinding every single day, whether it's in the gym, in the weight room, school, sleep, anything. Like, we just need to keep pursuing, and I think we're doing a great job of that.
Was there anything, like, in the back of your mind that just kind of, like, clicked at that Indiana game that kind of just pushed you to have the game that you did?
I think I just wanted it for our team. Like, we needed that win, and honestly, like, Melanie and Kylie are from Indiana. Like, I wanted to win for them, and I think they both really had my back on the court. Everyone, every single person on the bench, everyone had my back, and so I was just comfortable out there doing my thing, and it was just a big win that we needed.
Of course, you've been playing plenty up front in practice, but was it an adjustment to get that much playing time up front in a game, or did it feel natural to have that?
Honestly, a little bit of both. It was different because the last time I really played front row in a match was last year against Texas when I was on the opposite, but now I was on the outside, and it was different, but I was with the same people I practiced with every single day, and so it was just really fun to get back out there.
How's the process going with this coaching staff? You can see they're mixing and matching parts at times, trying to find groupings that work, given a moment, given a match, given a set. How does the team respond to that? Is that something where everybody kind of has to buy into, this is a chance that I get, but I just wonder what that's like kind of from a team perspective. It's the game of volleyball. Like, you're not going to have the same 6 people out there all season long. There's going to be times where they're going to have to throw other people in, and just being able to respond and be great teammates. Like, there's times where someone else has gone in for me, and you just have to respond and be a good teammate, because you're not going to be perfect every single match. And so I think this season we have done a great job of being able to make those changes and respond well to them.
It was a career high in kills for you Sunday, but you've had a few, I think, double-digit kill matches. At what point did you know that this was kind of approaching career high for you?
I had no idea. Honestly, I literally had no idea until after the match. Someone told me, "Oh, you had 19 kills." Like, I thought I was at 10 kills or something like that. Like, I had no idea. I was just out there playing and focusing more on, like, winning than how I was doing myself.
Anything more for Julia?
So Rutgers was a pretty clear turning point, 7-10 since then. Has there been a noticeable change in the tone in the locker room since then?
Yeah, for sure. I think we just realized how tough our schedule is, and the Big Ten is so tough, but we need to look at every game as, like, this is an amazing opponent. Like, we need to focus on ourselves more than we need to focus on them, I guess, and fix what we can fix on our side of the court, and then look at what we can do to beat them, I guess, if that makes sense.
All right, all set.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.